What if I told you you graduate from college debt-free by doing something that you love? I believe most students would gladly and happily take this deal. However, many college athletes are demanding even more. College athletes are already at a great advantage because they graduate from college debt-free. Wall Street Journal reports the average university student debt is $35,000, and that number keeps increasing each and every year. In addition to free education, they receive free food, living area, gym, which altogether adds up to well over $100,000 in the 4 years that a student athlete is on scholarship. As an avid college sports fan and a current college student, I have great interest in why people believe that college athletes should be paid. Although I love watching college sports, I believe that the paying players would have a greatly negative impact on the university and the college student. At first, you may wonder why we shouldn't just pay college students. But today, I will address the reason why college athletes should not be paid and why they should be satisfied with the benefits that they already receive. First, let's discuss why some people believe that college athletes do not deserve payment, or do deserve payment. Many would argue that since top-tier college athletes help bring in millions of dollars to their colleges during their playing careers, they should receive payment. In a USA Today interview, ESPN star Jay Billis, who's an advocate of student athletes, says college athletes do not have time to work full-time jobs because of how much time they spend practicing, playing sports, and traveling. The problem with this is that they don't need to work because they get so much for free already. In addition to this, a student athlete could work a part-time job during the off-season. The NCAA is a billion-dollar industry, and USA Today reports the top-tier athlete brings in well over $100,000 to their universities. The universities, athletic departments, and coaches all make millions of dollars. So people believe that it's only fair that student athletes get a cut of that as well. But the problem is they are getting their cut because that money allows colleges to help pay for student athlete scholarships and as well as other student needs. College athletes make their choice by accepting the scholarship they were offered. They are aware there's little downtime, and because of this, they're unable to have a full-time job. Of course, the positives of a scholarship greatly outweigh the negatives of the scholarship. Now, let's further discuss why paying college athletes is not reasonable. Paying athletes will have a negative impact on both the university as well as the student. Less than 1% of all college athletes actually bring in profit for the university. And because of Title IX, if you pay one player, you have to pay every player, and that's female and male. Title IX states that no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Under that rule, if you pay a football player, you have to pay every player in every sport. Student athletes already get a form of payment. As stated in the article by dailylocal.com, athletic scholarships are a student athlete's compensation, and a fair one at that. USA Today writer Jay Weiner states that the average scholarship is worth over $120,000 in the 4 years that an athlete is in college. A scholarship covers education, dorm, food, textbooks, as well as many other things. Altogether, that exceeds well over what 99% of student athletes bring in to the university in profit. I think that most students would gladly play for 4 years in a sport for free if it meant that they all received free education. As stated in Time Magazine article, Matt Kupernick, paying college athletes would be a loss for their non-athlete classmates. To make up for that cost, colleges would have to raise tuition costs for non-athletes by even more, and that would cause students to go into even more debt. Lastly, let's focus on the impact playing payers would have on students like you and me. Colleges are for education first, and we need to keep them that way. Allowing athletes to be paid If we allow athletes to be paid, where does it stop in determining how much each player should receive? Students are not employees. They are there to get a degree and prepare themselves for future jobs and their future lives outside of school. College students are already hurting. They're racking up tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and that number keeps growing each year. Paying players would only increase the students' debt by more. Is it worth it for the students like you and I to suffer in order to give these athletes what they want? In conclusion, we see that paying players would be bad for all students that do not play sports. It would be hard for universities to pay every student athlete, causing them to increase tuition, which would in turn cause students like you and I to go into even more debt. The reason you go to college is for the degree. Student athletes' scholarships are worth well over $120,000. But the skills they learn and the degree they earn during that college process is priceless. I want you to get out and read even more about this and see what you think for yourself. I really hope that you will see it's not good for a majority of people if college athletes do get paid. And if it comes to this, I hope we are able to defend this stance.